Honda has started the season as by far the worst performing engine supplier in Formula 1, but it may not take the opportunity to upgrade its engine for this season. On the face of it, that sounds like utter madness for a manufacturer that has started its partnership with Aston Martin in disastrous fashion, unable to finish a race until round 3 in Suzuka and severely lacking in performance. This is because Honda is still not totally sure on the reasons behind their horrendous start to the new rules era, having just worked out a few measures to keep the Aston Martins running to the finish of a Grand Prix in 2026. The warning sign sounded in the second Bahrain pre-season test, when the team announced limited running on the final day to safeguard engine compartments amid a shortage of parts. There were no spare batteries for the season-opening Australian Grand Prix, where Aston Martin team principal Adrian Newey, best known as F1's greatest designer, and Honda F1 boss Koji Watanabe called an emergency press conference to try to face the music on a weekend when neither driver was classified, although Lance Stroll saw the checkered flag 15 laps down. Aston Martin have failed to pull away from the back of the grid and are last behind newcomers Cadillac in the constructors' standings, with what's thought to be a midfield leading chassis. All of this brings us back to the engine, where it would be assumed that Aston would be looking to Honda to upgrade as quickly as possible. F1's engine rules are not that simple. For 2026, performance-based engine upgrades are highly restricted under the technical regulations, with an effective engine freeze in place. The opportunities to improve the performance of the engine only come if your engine is deemed to be at least 2% behind the field leaders. In this case, that's likely to be Mercedes. Under what has become known as ADIO, additional development and upgrade opportunities, manufacturers between 2 and 4% behind the leaders get one opportunity to bring a performance upgrade this season and one the following season, and if they're over 4% behind, they get 2 opportunities this season and 2 the following season. At this rate, it would almost be a surprise if Honda were not deemed over 4% behind any of the other 4 manufacturers of Mercedes, Ferrari, Audi and Red Bull Ford. Honda will have to design the upgrades for this season, but should they deem that their engine concept is flawed rather than underdeveloped, they may choose to prioritise a new concept for 2027. 2026 has laid bare the scale of the failure of Honda to prepare for F1's fabled new engine regulations, which have already undergone their own tweak both for this season and 2027 as the sport grapples with the issue of power loss at the end of long straights. With any improvements unlikely to yield any meaningful results in 2026, the engine manufacturer that won 4 World Drivers' Championships and 3 World Constructors' Championships with Red Bull and Max Verstappen this very decade may need to take more short-term pain for long-term gain.